Hey guys, what's up? It's Avialence here, and I'm here with another episode of Ask Avi. Today is Friday, and this is Ask Avi, as I just said. Ask Avi is this bi-weekly Q&A show I do where I answer your questions or I pick a random topic and discuss it. And today we actually have a pretty cool topic, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. It is the idea of horror movies, genres, film, but really specifically video games. And this is something I picked myself because I actually wanted to talk about it after playing a little Dead Space. And I also checked out a couple really cool horror games through some videos I was watching today. Actually, Outlast was one of them, and then also The Evil Within. Now, horror games are something that I actually used to hate. Like horror in general, I hated it. And the story with that is actually basically my brother. He's basically like my brother. I've known him for about 5 years. His name's Jared. And Jared I met in high school, my freshman year of high school. We went through high school all together. But he got me addicted to horror films. And, we watched them, and we would always check out some weird ones on Netflix or whatever. When Netflix started streaming, it was like, whoa, mind blown. And now it's like everyone does it. But we'd always check out horror movies and stuff and actually, watch these. And then the cool thing that me and Jared would actually do is sit down and analyze them, and have fun with them because that's what I really like about horror movies. So, when I had the opportunity to take some film history classes, I did one with mystery films and then also with horror films when I was in college. I still am in college for the record, just when I started college. I definitely wanted to take up on that because I think that in video games and also in movies, survival horror and horror is the same kind of elements because they do three things. Now, these three things have changed over the years, but I mean, when horror movies first started happening, you had moving pictures. So they tried to weird you out with stuff that was kind of like out of this world, the aliens and these creatures and stuff that people had never actually seen. They could only visualize. And that's what they tried to do there with the horror films. They tried to just disturb you, right? Now, the other thing that they did is focus on, the blood and guts, right? Make you get sick. And then you also have, the pop-outs, which are more recent, as well as some supernatural stuff and all that. And, they really kind of blend together. And that's the big thing that really interests me is they've blended all these together, and I think they're running out of those ideas. I just saw Insidious 2, the preview for it, that, The Conjuring, and, they look great, and I'll go see them, but it's nothing revolutionary, I suppose, which is something that we're seeing with survival horror in video games. The big title that came out this year was Dead Space 3, and it was more action than horror. And there's a lot of people. I actually have a good friend of mine, Nikki P, aka this is HXC. She's on the Gamersalt Weekly podcast with me and stuff. We had talked about Dead Space. We'd played through Dead Space 3 together and, had a good time doing so. But it was very interesting because with Dead Space, we both agreed that it was still a great game, but it was not what Dead Space originally was. And that's something that I'm missing from games is this actual sense of trying to survive or horror. And you really don't have that anymore. That's why I actually started looking around and found this game Outlast, which I never actually heard of. I think I'd seen a trailer, but I hadn't really dug too far into it. And it actually looks really cool, really well done, because from what I can see via the demos and the footage and the screenshots, you don't actually have a weapon. You just have a camera and you're a reporter. And, your camera can run out of batteries and stuff, so you don't have night vision and everything like that. And I think those aspects are really cool because that makes you feel like you're desperate. Now, you also have games like The Evil Within, which looks phenomenal. You can definitely tell that it's going to play like Resident Evil, but it's so messed up. I'm really, really looking forward to it. And I think that this survival horror genre in games has really kind of divulge from the path and everything's trying to be an action game basically because everything wants to make the same amount of money that Call of Duty does and a lot of these other big name action games. So you feel like everything's trying to become action. Resident Evil 6, huge letdown. And I didn't even have the heart to stick it through more than 2 campaigns. I did the Jake campaign and the Leon campaign. Leon's was great, but it was at the end there, I was like, what is going on? This just feels weird. It feels choppy, it feels different. And I was trying to figure out what was going on. And I that got me, so I've been thinking, what about these great horror games? And for those of you who are looking for horror games, get a computer. I'm telling you, there's some fantastic horror games on there. Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Oh my gosh. And then you also have excuse me, there's, what is it? Machine for Pigs looks scary as hell. And there's like all these great games on the PC that do that. Alan Wake had its own kind of supernatural twist. It wasn't really scary, but it was still like supernatural, so I enjoyed it. But the point is, like, a lot of these horror games actually aren't mainstream. They're very down to the side now, and I wish they'd get more attention. Amnesia is a fantastic game. I mean, fantastic game. I still haven't beat the whole thing because I don't have the heart to go back in there and be like, hey, let's do it. Because when you're in the game, you control the actions, so it's not just like a quick pop out or something, or you are that person, so to speak. So it really kind of puts you into this world and makes you think, wow, if I screw up, pretty messed up. No, but I really got a kick out of this game, Outlast, and I just watched a 17-minute demo from Rev3 Games. I would love to get my hands on that demo myself, so if any of you guys know anything about that, let me know. But wow, one of the cool things is the animations. So like the hands and animations actually like grab onto walls and open doors and stuff. And when you're doing this, you're very limited. Like, you can only see in front of you, which I really enjoy. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I think can be done. When he was squeezing through the shelves, he couldn't see what was going on, and I thought that was actually really awesome because then he didn't see the thing about to grab him from the back. So there's just so many cool elements, I think, that are really put in this survival horror thing that need to be brought back, right? Because I feel that everything's tried to become an action game or really accessible. And while that's not necessarily wrong, because, I mean, that's what made Call of Duty so successful, it's accessible to people. That's also not a defining piece of the horror genre, and I don't think that should be there. Movie-wise, the only thing that really gets me anymore is like just weirding me out. And like I just watched this movie. What was it? Dark Sector. No, it wasn't Dark Sector. That's a game. Dark Skies. I watched that, and that was just creepy because it was about aliens. And the funny thing is, I actually, if I have any like kind of weird dreams or whatever, horror doesn't bother me at all. Like, I can see some weird stuff, the Human Centipede, all that, and it's like, whatever. Those alien movies, though, I'm telling you, they give me some weird ones. Who knows? Maybe I'm being abducted. I don't know. But, the survival horror genre, I think, is in need of a little bit of recovery in horror movies in general. So I'm hoping that when I go see this Insidious movie and this Conjuring movie that I'm fairly impressed. I'm still looking for a buddy down here in Knoxville to be my, like, horror movie person because no one loves these horror movies. I think, like, the last 3 girls I've taken out on dates, or dated in that matter, don't like horror at all. So it's like, okay, well, that sucks. And I haven't found a couple people that are, like, really horror movie enthusiasts. I have my friend Brett that I always go see movies with, and I know he's a horror movie guy, so we'll probably hit him up and like critically tear them apart, but who knows. So if you guys are looking for horror games right now, buy a PC, get Amnesia. It's gorgeous, and you don't even need like a top-end PC. You can use like a laptop or something, and it runs great. And the other thing too is with that aspect of it, also feel free to check out those 2 games I've been talking about. Outlast is the first one, which looks great, and it's a gorgeous game. And then you also have The Evil Within, which is more kind of like the Saw side of things. So check those 2 out. But, I mean, that's kind of going to cut it from my opinion on survival horror and horror in general. And I hope that gave you a little something to think about. If you guys have any opinion of horror movies or survival horror yourself, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to chat with you guys a bit. Also, if you have a question for me and you want me to talk about it, feel free to let me know. I can record. I'm next week for Ask Avi rather. I'm actually going to the Rooster Teeth Expo, and I'm going to try to record. I'm not sure how it's going to work, but I'll try. I will have an episode Tuesday, but next Friday will be cut. So we'll see. If I can record it, awesome, I'll do it. If not, not much I can do about it. But anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel. I have plenty of game commentary, walkthroughs, stuff like that I constantly do. It's like my personal channel, and whatever I'm playing or covering is what I throw on here. So feel free to subscribe for that. And also, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the comments below. I'm always taking questions, adding them on my list, and using them for the next show. So thank you guys for watching. Have a good one. Don't get abducted or scared or whatever you want to call it. and I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one, everybody. Take it easy.